What's up, guys? It's your boy Killer Rap here with Hip Hop Science, and Eminem just released another track off of the Revival album, and I'm pretty hyped for it, so I'm going to check it out. It's called Untouchable. I'm actually just going to be reading along to the lyrics because there's no music video. It's just one of those picture things that's happening. So, anyway, I'm just going to go through this, break it down, let you know what I think. Yeah, if you like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay. Hands up, officer, don't shoot. Pull your pants up. Promise you won't loot. Okay. This is some kind of racism track. It's another racism track. Is this... What the heck is this hick shit, man? Okay, so this is clearly like a crooked cop, I assume, white cop's perspective. Ooh! The rhyme scheme is crazy. I see. Because the first time he said black boy, and then now it's clearly he's talking about the guy who was rapping. Oh my god. White boy, you're untouchable. This is basically the first half of Joyner Lucas's I'm Not Racist. I assume Eminem is probably not too happy that this was released so soon after, or rather that Joyner released his video right before. And I don't know, maybe it's funny because like Eminem accused Logic of taking his stuff in, or rather Joyner accused Logic of taking his stuff in I'm Sorry for this 1-800 track. Maybe he's gonna think Eminem stole the stuff for this song, but I don't think he wouldn't want that smoke with Eminem. Nobody wants it with Eminem, so I don't think that's gonna be the case. Anyway, that's just a side rant. But in any case, it's like, I guess this is talking from the cop's perspective, and it's like, yo, what? Oh, it's actually kind of terrifying because I think there's probably people who think this way, who think they're doing it for the greater good of America. People who like, it's a little scary to me. But in any case, it does look like the guy kind of has a bit of inner turmoil there at the end. He's kind of like, I keep telling myself I keep doing it for my country or whatever. So maybe it's trying to paint this picture that the cops, they do it, but maybe they're not necessarily happy that they're doing it. I'm not sure. But in any case, I'll move on with it. I've spent a bit of time on this, so let's see. Okay, still from the white guy's perspective. We don't get your culture, we don't care. Yeah, this is exactly Joyner Lucas's first half. The song, it's more flippant in nature almost. It's like almost almost a parody because of the nature of the instrumental. Okay, I think I get it. I think I sort of get it. So the first half of each, well, I don't want to say first half. So let's say the first 3/4 of each of these two verses has been this generic like hick cop that's trying to murder black people with this American badass type beat going on in the background. Oh, was it Kid Rock type stuff in the background? So it's like that perspective, right? And then the second half is actually from M's own perspective, but he's pretending to be that character, I suppose. Maybe it's the conscience speaking. I don't know what the exact details are. And it's like, maybe this sucks. He doesn't agree with it. Sometimes I'm ashamed to be. I assume the chorus is going to say white boy. Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting how he's doing that. He's kind of like prefacing it with this like almost humorous like version of this like a very obviously racist character. And then he's like going back to his deep voice, right? He has two different voices, the high-pitched, stupid, Slim Shady type voice, and then he has the modern, low Eminem voice, which demonstrates his, like, actual opinion. Yeah, white boy, you're a rock star, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna continue with it. Let's go. White boy, you're untouchable. I mean, it's so true, right? If you look at the incarceration rates, and it's not just, oh, I'll pause it for a second. It's not just the incarceration rate, right? Incarceration rate tells one story. I mean, white people get arrested a lot too, but it's a per capita thing. But the incarceration rate is one thing, but it's almost the punishment versus the crime aspect. If you consider the types of things that black people get arrested for compared to, on average, what the white people get arrested for, or more importantly, what they get away with, right? I mean, look at all the stuff that's happening in Hollywood. I don't know, man. I don't know. maybe their race has something to do with the fact that they're not getting in that much trouble. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that Roy Moore guy, he's allowed to be in office and do the shitty, fucked up things he's doing because maybe he fits this description. Who knows? Anyway, I'm on to verse number 3.
Like the average lifespan of a white man is more than twice than a black lifespan. Wonder sometimes if it has a
I like the flow, though. That's really cool. Is he a black guy? Yo, this is. Hold on. He's saying the same stuff too. This is Eminem. This is Joyner Lucas's "I'm Not Racist." What are the chances? This is crazy. That's so funny, and it's cool that it's coming from Eminem though, because this is the white guy's. Okay, this is the white America's perspective on the double-sided take. If that makes any sense, because Joyner's half white, half black, but he's like, I think he's said that he identifies more with the African side of him. So this is very interesting to me, and he's actually saying a lot of the same stuff. I like the flow on the rhyme scheme there actually too, because in the first half he's like cutting it. He's breaking off a lot of his phrases in the middle of a word, in the middle of like a phrase. So it's like a choppy sort of execution. It's very interesting. It almost kind of plays into this whole like things ending early for the black man. Is like, seems like the average lifespan of a white man is twice that of a black man, or black lifespan, whatever, right? But the point is, he's chopping it off, ending it early, and it's kind of like a motif that carries it throughout, just like the lifespan of an average black man, as he's saying in the song. But maybe that's looking into a little too deep, but you know, it's an interesting idea. I personally would not in any world put it past Eminem to come up with something like this. He definitely did that on purpose, in my opinion. Anyway, on to where the hell we were.
Back with violence, but acts like that. Black guys on the movement, which makes Black Lives Matter. At cops and cops matter. That's why it's at a stalemate.
Matter, like M-A-D-D-E-R. Oh my god, this guy's rhyme scheme. Yeah, so he's basically, I think this second half, it's like, oh my god, that's long. It's a more detailed and intricate version of Joyner Lucas's second half, because Joyner Lucas in the second half was more conversational in nature. It wasn't so much as he's pointing out all the individual flaws. He's just addressing the exact points that the first guy made. I made a couple adjustments therein to make it spin it off in such a way that it makes it more understandable, you know what I mean? But here he's pointing out a whole bunch of various specific points, like the Black Lives Matter movement and how it's interacting with the white culture and why there's a backlash there. Then there's talking about all the violence, and then it's talking about the cops. It's talking about how Section 8s came to be, all the various segregation in terms of the neighborhoods and stuff. And it's just a more detailed version, and it goes into a lot of detail. It's actually pretty crazy. I think I should just let him speak for the rest of the song for a bit. I'm not gonna talk too much. Oh my god. Doesn't take a scientist to see our violent nature lies in the poverty that we face. Right? The crime rate's the highest in the lowest classes. That's the next line I read ahead. Makes sense, doesn't it? And that's part of the discussion is what caused people to get into these positions in the first place. It's the cause and effect thing, right? People don't look for the cause and only look at the effects. And this is a fundamental flaw I think a lot of people do, right? When you see something that upsets you, when you see something that's problematic, an easy way to reconcile and try to make sense of the situation instead of getting angry, applies to all aspects of life, is why is it making you angry? The effect. What caused that situation to occur? What caused that to make you feel the way it is? And how can you address the cause? And in this case, whatever the segregation and the historic, oppression, I don't know if there's any direct way to approach that, but that's just the fact, right? That's kind of what these issues are. Anyway, that's a bit more deep than I wanted to get in this, so I might keep going.
Your Republican views, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. What the fuck are the boots? And street sackers in there.
Nice. You hear that? That was fire. It pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, but where the fuck are the boots? You don't give us the foundation on which to build ourselves up and to persevere, so how are we supposed to persevere? It's like telling us to reach as high as we can and jump and higher, but the ground is constantly lowering, so you are always in the same spot or all going down, right? I mean, I'm not talking about my perspective, I'm talking about from the song's perspective, for your information. So.
Conscious and got off, so we don't need crooked police.
Oh my god. Eminem, how does he non-stop? No matter what he's saying, he just makes it so technical. Yeah, Kaepernick is not a problem. That's just a random thing that they chose to scapegoat the real problems. Ooh, oh my god. Dude, he just went off. He went off. There's not much I can say outside of that. It's very interesting. I mean, this would be a lot more impactful. It's actually kind of sad. This would be a lot more impactful and a lot more relevant if Joyner Lucas hadn't just released I'm Not Racist. Granted, Eminem's second verse, the first two verses I actually didn't think were that fantastic. I mean, I like the idea that there's still that white guilt that he's showing at the end there versus the initial halves where he's like just shitting on the black people. But the second half where he's pretending to be a black man, I think that's where it's more interesting, right? That's the part people should be focusing on. He made a lot of very good points, a lot of very detailed points. Well, I say detailed because it's a little bit more granular than the points that Joyner was making, but very interesting nonetheless. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta get back to work, actually. My lunch is almost over. But yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you agree with what I'm saying. If not, make sure to disagree in the comments so we can debate about it. I can let you know. I can try to convince you why I feel the way I feel. And maybe we can come to an understanding or something. Anyway, this Killer App is signing out. Also, make sure to join the Discord. It's lit.